Hey guys, it's Jeremiah. It is Saturday night, January 19th, 2019. It's about 10 p.m. here in California, and I was sitting around and I said, I think I'm going to make a video this evening. It is very calm. It's kind of like this calm before the storm right now, but there's quite a bit actually happening behind the scenes, quite a bit happening in this country socially and economically right now. And I just want to touch on a few of those things. Yesterday, we witnessed the markets rallying back again. Dow Jones closed up 335 points. So for 2019, the markets are getting off to a very, very good start, and we are witnessing a rally taking place. A rally that is based on nothing more than rumors. Rumors that China is going to be buying a lot of stuff from America. Rumors that Trump is going to end this trade war with China. None of it verified. No one's confirmed any of this. The president certainly has not confirmed any of this. So yet, the mere rumor of something positive hits these algorithms and pushes these markets even farther. So it's really amazing that just positive rumors can push these markets, yet we start looking at some of the things that are going on across the country, and it's very, very concerning. Now, I don't put a lot of validity into these markets because they're all an illusion. We are witnessing an illusion, manipulation, market rigging, quantitative easing, plunge protection teams. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, but these markets have become nothing more than a mere illusion to reality. They are disconnected from reality. And when we look at just some of the news, all this stuff is on Zero Hedge. I got it off Zero Hedge the last couple days. Greenwich, Connecticut, home prices plunge 17% as Manhattan's weakness shifts to the suburbs. This is a luxury market in Greenwich, Connecticut. I think the average home over there sells for about $1.5 million. The last quarter of 2018, their prices plunged 17%. So the markets, the economy, everything is supposed to be firing on all cylinders, yet we're watching not just Greenwich, Connecticut, but we're watching luxury markets throughout the country going through the same thing. Right here in Southern California, we're looking at parts of Washington, Oregon, higher end markets feeling the pain as the real estate market is being pushed off the cliff. U.S. home prices rise at slowest pace since 2012 as sales plunge. Sales dropped 11% in this country in December of 2018. Another one on Zero Hedge. There was another article on Zero Hedge this week, and it's talking about we are now heading into a world recession. Global money supply growth is at 2008 lows. Global growth is slowing throughout the world, throughout many sectors. Billionaire investor Sam Zell says he's buying gold for the first time in his life. Well, of course he is. All the central banks are buying gold. Many multimillionaires and billionaires are buying gold. Jamie Dimon at JP Morgan is buying gold and silver. China, India, Russia, all buying gold. So everyone that knows what is coming to the entire globe, what's coming to America, are preparing themselves, okay? The people who are in the banking cartels, the central banks, the people that are very, very wealthy who know that they need to be holding assets because there's an economic tsunami coming. So here's a billionaire who's never bought gold before, but now he's in because he knows that it's very limited, it's a hard asset, it's hard to come by, there's not a whole lot of it above ground, and he knows that it's one of the best assets to be holding when we go into a recession or a Great Depression. Demand drops for U.S. Treasury. That's not anything new. We've been hearing about that for quite a long time. My question is, who is buying all the debt? Who is buying this U.S. debt? The only entity that could be buying the U.S. debt would be the Federal Reserve, because Japan doesn't want it, China doesn't want it. Most of the world now is not buying U.S. debt. Nobody wants it. This was an interesting article that came out today. It was Kroger supermarkets. They did a survey with their shoppers, and they said consumer confidence, according to the shoppers at Kroger, and I think they're in 35 states. They said that the consumers that they had spoken with and did this survey with said that consumer confidence is weakening. Consumers are pulling back. A lot of the consumers said that things seem to be okay right now, but they're very concerned about the uncertainty with the future. People are being cautious. They're not spending as much right now. They're hanging on to what they have. This was a real interesting article today on Zero Hedge. Rising credit card use shows consumers are strapped. People are using credit cards to cover what their paychecks won't. The closer we get to a recession, we see the desperation of more credit card borrowing. People are tapping out their credit cards because they can't afford to keep up with the rising cost of living. And so we're seeing people acquiring more credit card debt. And so is this a sign that we're getting closer to a recession because people are more dependent to be using their credit cards more than ever because they are tapped out? And so this article says that this may be a sign that we're getting very close to a recession when people are down to using their credit cards to pay their bills. And this is a really, really scary thing. We now know for a fact that household debt is at an all-time high. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. We're seeing more people defaulting on credit cards because people are having to use credit cards to get by now. It's not just a luxury or convenience. It is to pay bills just to get by. Another real big concern is the global debt. We're looking at global debt now topping $244 trillion. Wow, almost half of the world makes less than $5.50 a day. You know, the global elite have conquered most of the world, and that's why half the world makes less than $5.50 a day. They've conquered most of the world. They've enslaved most of the world. They have bankrupted these people. And by bankrupting these countries, they become enslaved to these central banks, to these global elites. And they're trying to do that to America right now. They're trying to create debt slaves out of you. They're trying to enslave you with more debt. You know, you're making less and less money while your dollar buys less. While the cost of living goes up, the value of the dollar goes down. Nobody, like really ask yourself, are you making more money than you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago? I mean, you just cannot keep up with it. And that, again, this is why people are living on credit. And when people are buying stuff and we see, people buying stuff in the economy, it's creating more debt because I bet you half the stuff bought in this economy is on credit. And so as people are buying stuff, if we see stores are doing a little bit better here and there, how much of that is debt? How much of this is being bought on credit cards? And so as this economy continues, a lot of it is being run just on debt. Look at the average person in America. Their whole life is making payments. You're paying taxes. You're paying taxes to pay down the $22 trillion that you're never going to be able to pay down. $22 trillion of debt that we've acquired, starting wars all over the entire world, protecting borders all over the entire world. Why this president can't get $5 billion to protect our own border. Bailing out banks in China, bailing out banks in Europe, bailing out automakers, all this debt we've acquired. And what has it done for the taxpayer here in America? What has it done for the American citizen? While we have open, porous borders with terrorists invading, cartels invading, gangs invading, more unskilled, uneducated people invading, what is this government, what are these politicians doing for the American people other than taxing you to death and taxing you into being a debt slave? Unfortunately, the average American debt slave is so dumbed down at this point, eating their fast food, getting bigger than ever, eating, their GMOs, playing their fantasy football, playing video games, smoking weed 5 times a day. And again, I don't have anything wrong with smoking weed if you have an ailment, you have a medical reason to be doing it. But if you're just doing drugs because you have nothing better to do in your life, if you don't want to be a productive person, you want to sit around and smoke weed all day, I have no respect for that. Just like I have no respect if you want to eat Twinkies all day and Doritos and be 380 pounds. I have no respect for that. I mean, your body is a temple. Do something that you're passionate about. Be productive doing something. How about waking up and doing something for your country? How about waking up to what is happening right here in America right now as our pensions are being robbed, as your Social Security is being robbed, as your country's being invaded by illegal aliens? We've got more Hondurans on their way right now. This president can't get $5 billion to start building a wall, creating some jobs and protecting America. It's really, really sad. Again, 46% of the world lives on less than $5.50 a day. 26.2% of the world lives on less than $3.20 a day. Look at how we're living right now as debt slaves. We are turning into the rest of the world. We're allowing the whole world to come over here. We're turning into a third world country right now while everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid, watching reality TV. Most people could never tell you what an ounce of gold is today, an ounce of silver, a barrel of oil, what the Dow Jones closed at. Nobody even knows anything, but they know every name of a football player, every reality TV show. They know everything about that, but they don't even know who the vice president is, okay? This is where we're living. This is the time we're living in right now, where people have just given up on themselves and they've given up on their country. And I'm telling you, 2019 is going to get radical. We are going to see some crazy stuff starting to happen. I can guarantee you that. And these people that have been drinking the Kool-Aid, living in this comatose state, if you're one of them, you better get out of this matrix real quick, because this shit is about to change. And people, this can get real ugly real fast. Take a look at what's happening politically in this country right now. So President Trump made an announcement today. He wants, I believe it was $5.7 billion to start the wall, to get 2,700 more Border Patrol agents and law enforcement down at the border, more technology, to get more security at the ports. And already the Democrats are coming out saying that there's just no way they're going to agree to this and they're going to have no part of it. So it looks like this government is going to continue to be shut down. What a sad state of affairs. What a terrible, terrible time it is in America, where these socialists won't even come to the table. They don't care about you. They don't care about America. They don't care about the safety of America. You know, we have ISIS now trying to work deals with the cartels and vice versa. The cartels are trying to acquire nuclear weapons because that will give them leverage against the US. I mean, we have so much going on the other side of this border, okay, with crime, disease, assaults, human trafficking. It's just horrible. And anybody that believes that a border isn't necessary and that it's not going to help is lying to you. Borders, walls help, okay? It's not going to be 100%, but if it helps 50%, 60%, that's going to be enormous. And on top of that, with more Border Patrol, more law enforcement, drones, the technology, we can really battle this war that we're having. There is no bigger war going on in America, outside of America, than right down at the border. Fentanyl, the opioids, the cocaine, the heroin, the methamphetamine is killing more people than war. And so the biggest terrorist attacks are happening right over the border, and it's called drugs, it's called cartels, and it's doing so much damage to our economy, to our people, and it needs to be stopped. And this is the only president who's actually stood up to these politicians, put his foot down, and is trying to do something. You don't have to like Donald Trump, but I'm going to tell you, at least he's trying to protect America one way or another. At least he's trying to put people back to work. At least he's doing something. He doesn't have his hands out. He's not even taking a freaking paycheck for this job. This country, I'm going to tell you, most people don't deserve this president, okay? They're going to deserve what they get. And if you want to bring socialism into America, then you're going to be in for a rude awakening on what happens to America, because most people have no idea what socialism is and what it turns into. And the way I'm seeing this right now, the way these socialist Democrats are acting, and I mean, there's a lot of talk right now that in March they're going to try to impeach Trump. And if they really push it, the other side of this country is going to react, and it's going to get really, really ugly. These people, okay, this Hollywood group, this tech group, these Democrats in Washington, they are promoting a civil war. Now, none of them are ever going to be in the streets, okay? They're going to try to get all the dumbed down Kool-Aid drinkers to do the fighting for them. And those people are going to get hurt, okay? Because when the gun-owning patriot of America has had enough of this, and you push these people to the limit, it is going to be a very ugly time in America. And, these people in Hollywood, these people in Washington, they have no idea the genie they're going to let out of the bottle. And if they think they're going to hide behind their walls in Beverly Hills, listen, people know where these people live. People know how to get to Beverly Hills. People know your name. They know people in the liberal media, and this is no threat by any means, but if you let the genie out of the bottle, you're going to see violence like you've never seen before. Do you think that these people aren't going to come after you for starting this? So I don't ever want to see that happen in America. I don't condone violence in any form. But if you push this country into a civil war, you're going to get what you ask for. And that's just a fact. And I pray to God it never comes to that. But be warned. There are going to be people coming for you. And the gun-owning, God-fearing American citizen, patriot, when these people lose it, they're going to go ballistic. And if the government isn't going to get a hold of this right now and start having rule of law in this country, then I guess the American people are going to do it. And when they do it, it's going to be vicious, and a lot of people are going to pay a very severe price for it. And most of those people are going to be liberal, socialist, communist, Marxist types. And I'm really, really praying that cooler heads prevail, and that these Democrats take a very, very hard look at what they're doing to this country. They're dividing it. They're calling one half of this country racist. They're calling them Nazis. They're calling them dumb. They're calling them stupid. This is another article today. This was great. 50% of voting Hispanics approve of Donald Trump's wall, okay? Because the Hispanic population knows they're going to be the first ones to lose their jobs the more and more of these illegal immigrants keep coming over from Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador. They know what's going to happen. Just like the people in Tijuana don't want those people hanging out there too, taking their jobs. This is what we're dealing with. We now have Ocasio-Cortez on the Financial Services Committee overseeing banks and money for the United States of America. I mean, she has the IQ of a rock. She knows nothing. And we're putting people like this into places of power, okay? And then we have this, where she's agreeing with Cardi B, calling Trump supporters effing racist rednecks. Now, if that isn't racist right there, but you have Cortez agreeing with this racist entertainer calling Trump supporters racist rednecks. I mean, it's just really, really sad to see, again, the direction this country's going in. Hollywood has sold you out. You should never spend a dime on Hollywood. anybody that buys a ticket for Hollywood, think about where that money is going. They're going to use it against you to take your religious freedom away. They're going to use it to take your gun rights away. These are the people that you're paying that call you a racist redneck, a effing retard. These are the people that you're paying $20 for a ticket to go see one of their stupid, terrible movies, okay? Take your money, go spend it on something more productive. But going back, we need to avoid a civil war in this country, but every day it seems like it's getting closer and closer, and it's almost like the Democratic Socialist Party is going to trigger a civil war in this country. God help us if they try to impeach Donald Trump, because I think at that point people will have had enough. And I'm telling you, when the patriot side of this country loses it, you're not going to stop them. You're going to have millions of people out there that have been watching for the last couple of years, people being beat up for wearing a red hat. They've been watching the media call them retards. They've been watching the media call them Nazis and racists. They've been watching Hollywood demonize them, make fun of them, make fun of their religious freedom, making fun of God. And so, there's a lot of bent up frustration in a lot of America, and they've showed a lot of control. But I'm telling you, we are an event, maybe 2 events away from seeing a civil war in America. We're witnessing a civil war taking place in Washington right now. It's only going to be an event or 2 away from trickling down to the streets of America. And when you let that genie out of the bottle, you're not putting it back in. And it will finish what it started. And if this government cannot get America under control, then the U.S. citizen is going to get America under control. That's not a threat. That's just reality. That's the way I see it. And I know there's a lot of people out there getting real scared, don't like what I'm saying right now, but that's the way it is. And here's the deal. Right now, if you don't know what side you're on, you better figure it out real quick. You're either going to be on that side or you're going to be on that side, because we are getting very, very close to something happening. And what triggers that event, I don't know. But once it's triggered, it is going to be a very chaotic, scary time in America. So if you don't know what side you're on right now, you better start figuring it out, because we're getting very, very close to something very big happening in America. Guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy life. Prepare. Make sure you're stacking medals. Make sure you're topping off preps. Make sure you're out training. Make sure you're just doing everything you can to be a better person. Say your prayers. Thank God for everything you have. Pray for this president. Pray for this country. Make sure you subscribe. Share this video. And we will talk very, very soon. God bless.